Hey, what up, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with my Week 5 recap video. Uh, I don't know how much I'll be able to talk about because I was at the Alabama game, so I didn't get to watch any other games. So I'll try my absolute best. On Thursday night, Washington upset Stanford 17-13. They rallied in the fourth quarter and got a touchdown and beat Stanford 17-13. It's a big upset because some were thinking Stanford were national championship contenders because they upset USC the week before, and that was not the case because Washington and Keith Price got the victory. Saturday's games, Alabama beats Ole Miss 33-14. Alabama's really sluggish, but a win's a win, 33-14. No, we didn't. We really won this game just because of our turnovers. We had 3 turnovers, and Ole Miss didn't have any. So, Oregon kind of struggled with Washington State and wins 51-26. It was 23-19 going into halftime, but then Oregon scored 21 points in the third quarter to win. I think everybody expected this because Washington State's defense is terrible. Probably the biggest surprise of the day was LSU 38, Towson 22. Towson's 2-2, and they're like a Division 1 AA school or whatever you want to call it, FCS school, and they go 22 points to them. That supposedly great LSU defense. I don't know why, but they only scored 38, so this was a really sluggish game for for LSU. So that's kind of crazy. Florida State struggles with South Florida, but they end up winning 30-17. So it seems like Florida State always struggles with South Florida. South Florida always plays them tough. And Florida State had to ride another huge third quarter, score 17 points, and end up winning 30-17. Georgia 51, Tennessee 44. I don't think anybody expected this. Georgia had 2 21-point quarters, the first quarter and third quarter, and I think I expected offense in this game, but not that much offense. That's crazy. But Tennessee played them tough. Tennessee does have a really good offense, and I'll be kind of nervous when Alabama plays them. But that defense is not up to Derek Dooley's standards and what he wants. But that offense is really good. It's weird. South Carolina 38, Kentucky 17. Kentucky is the absolute worst team in the SEC by far. But the thing was, they were beating South Carolina 17-7.5. But then South Carolina goes on and scores 31 points in the second half to Kentucky's none. And I knew that was probably going to happen. Lattimore had to score 2 TDs, but they rallied and won. A win's a win. Another shootout, West Virginia 70, Baylor 63. I predicted West Virginia to win this game, but I didn't know. I think I said 50-something to 40. I knew it was going to be a high-scoring game, but I didn't think West Virginia's going to score 70 and Baylor's going to score 63. I don't know how long West Virginia's offense can carry them, but I mean, as long as they're winning, they're winning. Geno Smith threw for 656 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's just ridiculous. And if I had to cast a Heisman vote right now, he'd definitely be my vote. Texas 41, Oklahoma State 36. This is a little bit higher scoring game than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be 30-29. But this game was close right down to the end. Texas had to score 13 in the fourth quarter. And that first quarter for Texas was really big, where they scored 21 points. And they'd only scored 20 the rest of the game. But I do give Oklahoma State credit because I didn't think they would score that much on Oklahoma or on Texas, because Texas really does have a good defense. But like I said, defense usually outlasts the offense. Ohio State versus Michigan. Ohio State won 17-16 in a close game. Michigan State tried to rally, but they didn't do so. Michigan State. Braxton Miller had a really good start, but then was sluggish the rest of the game. So But like I always say, a win's a win. 17-16, a sluggish Big Ten game's what everybody really expected. TCU struggles with SMU 24-16, but they get the victory. What are you doing? I don't even know what to say. TCU probably shouldn't have struggled with SMU, but TCU has kind of struggled the last few games, but win's a win. Clemson gives up 31 points to that terrible Boston College offense, but they outscored them to win 45-31. This game was close at halftime. I did get to catch a little bit of this game, but a win's a win. Taj Boy had a big game, 45-31. Oregon State survives the second half rally by Arizona State to win 38-35. It was 17-7 at halftime. Arizona scores 21 points in the third quarter to Oregon State 7. Oregon State has to score 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win by 3 points. Late touchdown gave Oregon State a win in this game. Sean Mannion had a big game. I know I predicted this game to be like 24-21, but Oregon State's been the surprise in the country probably so far. I do think they're actually contenders for the Pac-12 this year, just because their defense is really good. Louisville outlasts Southern Miss 0-4. Kind of surprising. You don't normally see Southern Miss 0-4. Louisville won 21-17. All on field goals, I think. But that's if you didn't see Southern Miss's field was completely underwater, so that's probably why it was so sluggish. But Louisville's still undefeated. I think they go undefeated to the last week of the season. So does Rutgers. I think they both go undefeated, and they're both undefeated going into the last game of the season against each other. So that'll be fun to watch. But so Louisville has been winning close, but they're undefeated, and that's all that matters. Nebraska beats Wisconsin 30-27. Things in Wisconsin aren't getting any better until they can find a quarterback, because their offensive line is terrible. And when you have a terrible offensive line and a terrible quarterback, that doesn't bode well for you. And they had to rally from a 17-point deficit, but they win anyway, 30-27. Big win for Nebraska, their first win in the Big Ten. And oh Lord, there's a bunch more. Boise State beats New Mexico 32-29. It was a lot closer than people thought. Boise State scored 25 in the first half. Then New Mexico State scores 29. It was 25-0 at halftime. New Mexico scores all the points in the second half. They outlast them 32-0. 32-29. Connecticut struggles with Buffalo, but wins 24-17. Georgia Tech gets absolutely blown out by Middle Tennessee State, 49-28. Somebody's going to get fired there. That's unacceptable for a BCS team like Georgia Tech to lose by 3 touchdowns to Mid Tennessee State, who lost in North Polk State. Penn State beats Illinois 35-7. Surprised me. I picked against Penn State, so good job, Penn State. Proved me wrong. Iowa beats Minnesota 31-13. Gives them the first loss of the season. Kind of sucks because if Minnesota would have beat Iowa, Minnesota and Northwestern would have both been undefeated going into their game next week. So kind of sucks. Miami beats North Carolina State 44-37. Stephen Morris had an ACC record 566 passing yards in this game. North Carolina State, my opinion on them has completely changed. Before the season, I said North Carolina State has the best secondary in the country. Never mind. I don't know what happened to them, but they're not near as good as they were last year. Texas A&M absolutely blows out Arkansas 58-10. Things are not getting better in Fayetteville, and until they fire John L. Smith or get rid of him or hire somebody else, that's going to be the case. That's unacceptable to lose 58-10. Duke beats Wake Forest 34-27, and Duke improves to 4-1. Watch out for the Duke Blue Devils. Troy beats South Alabama 31-10. That's terrible. In the last game, Virginia Tech loses to Cincinnati 27-24. Really surprised me. A late rally by Virginia Tech comes up short, gives them the second loss in the season. And if Virginia Tech doesn't watch out, they might have their first season without 10 wins in like 10 years. So that'll be really surprising. and Mönchengladbach had to score a touchdown late to ensure the victory of Virginia Tech. But Cincinnati is now 3-0, and let's see how far they can go in the Big East. Looking at the schedule, they could possibly be undefeated going into that game against Louisville. They got to play Miami, Ohio, Fordham, and Toledo, so they definitely are going to be undefeated going into that game against Louisville. So that'll be a really big game. So I'll see you guys later. That's been my Week 5 recap. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, roll time, go Sox, and go Titans. I'll see you later.